Konnichiwa ninjas, and welcome to your Weekend Geek updates for Saturday, December 12th, 2014 on Geeky Bytes. My name is, of course, Sean Caspian, and thank you so much for watching today. Please remember to hit that like button, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you dig today's video. Now, without further ado, let's get to some of that geeky news, shall we? Alright, so the first bit of news that I would like to talk about a little bit this week is the fact that Sony and Marvel are apparently talking again about the possibility of bringing Spider-Man into the Marvel comic universe. This latest tidbit of news comes from a website called the Latino Review, and basically it talks about how Marvel and Sony have kind of been in and out of talks, but it's still possibly on the table, and Marvel might even be planning on bringing Spider-Man into the Marvel comic universe in the Captain America Civil War movie. If talks do actually go through to finally bring Spidey and the Avengers together, Andrew Garfield, who has played Spider-Man in the last two Sony pictures, will not be reprising his role. You know, I was a big fan of the first Spider-Man movie that Sony put out with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I thought he made an excellent Peter Parker. Sorry, you revealed your identity there, buddy. But, you know, I feel like it totally fell apart at that point. They're just trying to toss way too many elements in there, you know, trying to do too much at the same time, especially Spider-Man 3. I mean, we've got 3 villains to face, and, you know, Venom just barely even has a little BS kind of cameo. I mean, what is that? They really had an opportunity there, and they lost it. And I don't feel like the current reboot is really doing any better. So honestly, I hope that Marvel Studios does get their hands on the Spider-Man property and can integrate that into all of their brilliant films. I mean, Sony, you know, you do okay, but there's just something missing. I can't quite put my hands on it. You know what I mean? There's just something that's not quite there that Marvel does that you don't. So here's to hoping that Marvel gets their hands on that property. And in gaming news this week, we finally got a little shred, I mean a tidbit of information regarding production of one of gaming's most fabled titles, The Last Guardian. For those of you not directly familiar with The Last Guardian, it's basically the spiritual successor to Shadow of the Colossus, and it looks like an absolutely amazing game. You've got a boy that basically leads around this ginormous feathery dog that's apparently very powerful, but is also probably in a lot of trouble himself. So the dog probably needs the boy as much as the boy needs the dog, and it's that kind of relationship. It's a really great premise. Unfortunately, since this game has been on the shelf since 2009 and we've hardly heard anything about it, there's little hope that this game is actually going to be coming to consoles anytime soon. But we did get a little bit of information from director Fumito Ueda. In a recent statement, Ueda said that talks with Sony Computer Entertainment on The Last Guardian have been ironed out, and we're making progress under completely new conditions. I'm also working on some other things that I'll hopefully be able to show in time if progress is smooth. So what that actually means, I don't know. Who knows? It could be that the title has switched to the new generation consoles and it's going to come out on the PS4. It could be a retooling of the game, could be a different game engine, could be a whole slew of things, but it's nice to finally hear a little bit of information about this game. That said though, I am still so on the fence if this is ever actually going to happen. And then, you know, even if it does, the hype for this game is so huge among the gamer community that it just might not live up to it. I mean, you're talking a title that's been in development since 2009. Look at Duke Nukem Forever, right? Yeah. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this game? Do you think it's ever going to see the light of day? And if it does, do you think it's going to live up to even a fraction of the hype? Let me know in the comments down below. And in other gaming news this week, Final Fantasy VII fans had their hopes and dreams realized in full force, only to have them smote from the heavens above, as it was announced that Final Fantasy VII will in fact be coming to the PlayStation 4, but it's just going to be a slightly tweaked version of the PC port instead of the full-fledged version that gamers are looking for. Ouch! Kotaku is calling this the worst video game troll in history, and with good reason. You know, I am a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, and anybody who's played it agrees with me that it's one of, if not the best game of all time to grace a console. I mean, this is such a huge game, it's got such a huge following, and we heard about the possibility of an enhanced version back in 2005 for the PlayStation 3. So we've been waiting for nearly 10 years to get this remake that we're looking for, and to hear that it's just going to be kind of a PC port, it's basically going to be a little bit of a tweaked version of that. It's not really going to offer us anything whatsoever or take advantage of current gen graphics at all. I mean, we need a full-fledged remake. We need to see what this game looks like in all of its glory on current technology. And to do that to us, guys, bad on ya, Square Enix, bad on ya. And now for my new little segment I like to call Geeky Rants, where I talk about something that's controversial in our geeky world today. And this week I would like to address the Greg Benson hitting cosplayers in the face video. You ready? Alright, so for any of you not in the know, basically Greg Benson is a YouTuber and he's been doing comedy bits for a long time where he hits people in the face with a microphone and they continue to interview with him. So it's kind of a tired comedy bit, but honestly it works for the guy. I like his videos, I have fun watching it, and recently he made a cosplay video where he's hitting cosplayers in the face at a convention with this microphone. And the whole issue has really been kind of blown out of proportion in my opinion. There are claims that Greg Benson is going around and sexually harassing these cosplayers and doing all sorts of nasty things to these people, when all he's actually doing is doing a little bop in the face with a actually specially engineered microphone. The thing is hollow, it's deliberately lightweight, it's not like a hard piece of metal or anything that he's hitting them in the face with. And a lot of cosplayers and a lot of people that enjoy cosplay are freaking out. They are just getting so mad at this guy, and how dare he disgrace cosplayers, and this is going to, this is going to incite harassment at conventions, and it legitimizes, harassing this group of people, and that's just not the case. It's really not. One thing that's interesting about the whole deal is that if you marginalize these people by painting them as victims, that's actually going to perpetuate that situation. We're going to get a situation where people are abusing cosplayers because they think they're weak. They think they are victims because that's how this argument is painting them. I mean, if I'm a cosplayer and I'm standing next to Greg Benson, who's a fun guy, by the way. I've met him at VidCon. He's a cool dude. He's been doing this for a long time. It's a little bit of a tired comedy bit, like I said, but he's a good guy and he does a lot of fun videos and he's pretty successful on YouTube. He has a pretty big following, and I have to say that if I'm a cosplayer that is interviewing with him and he hits me in the face and I don't like it, I'm welcome to also walk away as a grown adult, okay? Now there's of course some question in there when you start getting into things like, like the younger generation cosplayers, stuff like that, people in their teens, younger folks that may not know any better. They might sit there and kind of feel awkward in front of the camera. They might not want to embarrass themselves and walk away and that sort of thing. But, I watched Greg's follow-up video on this, and he shows footage of getting permission to interview them and then talking with them afterward, making sure they had a good time and had fun. And, I'm sure that he asks people if they want to do this, and he might even consult with them up front and let them know a little bit about what the prank is. He may not do that too. That's totally possible. I don't really know that. But the point is, when I interview cosplayers, I say, hey, do you guys want to do an interview with me? And if the answer is no, or if I ask them if they want to do some other video with me and the answer is no, for any reason, I always say thank you anyway. I totally respect their wishes not to be in the video for any reason whatsoever because they are a grown adult. So I also expect that these cosplayers that are being hit in the face with this microphone as part of Greg's gag also could have the wherewithal to walk away and say, hey, that's not okay, instead of just kind of taking it for like 6, 7, 8 times being hit in the face, and it's supposed to be a big problem. Guys, let's not paint cosplayers as victims. Let's not, marginalize that group of people. There's a lot of controversy floating around about cosplayers these days, and I really want to see cosplayers elevated. They are artists, they are people, they are human beings, they are strong, they're magnificent. I have the utmost respect for these people, but let's not freak out and let's not make this something that it is. It is not. Hitting people in the face with something, kind of not the coolest thing ever, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It is not sexual harassment. It is not beating down the cosplay community. It is not inciting other people to, to go past boundaries and do inappropriate things with these cosplayers at conventions. It is not doing any of that. So let's just not make this a bigger deal than it is. Let's not pit YouTubers against cosplayers. There seems to be a lot of that, like geeky groups just kind of getting at each other these days. So where's the love, guys? Let's just focus on the art. Let's focus on what we love and what binds us as a community, whether it's gaming, whether it's cosplay, whether it's YouTube and video work. any of that stuff, it's all related. Guys, we're passionate about what we do, and let's just respect each other. If somebody says no to you, respect that. Walk away. No is no. Period. Whether you're a cosplayer, whether you're a comic book artist, whether you're anybody else, no is no, period. But also, let's not drag this guy through the fire just for hitting somebody in the face with a 1-ounce foam microphone when they didn't bother to walk away themselves. So that's all I got on that. And rant, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much. Quick side note as well, if you wanted to watch both his video where he does hit the cosplayers in the face and his follow-up video explaining things a little bit, links to those in the description down below. And finally, because cosplayers are like my favorite group of people ever, I heart and respect you dearly, it is time for our featured cosplayer of the week, and this week it is the lovely, talented, and amazing Variable Cosplay. Miss Variable hails from Australia and is a lovely and amazing special effects makeup artist as well as a cosplayer. Her career began in theatrical makeup, and now she does full-blown makeup effects for productions in both the US and Australia. Her makeup work is nothing short of stunning and sometimes downright creepy, and she really does a fantastic job with this stuff. Variable is known internationally for her cosplay of Supergirl as well as Miss Fortune from League of Legends. It's really fantastic work, highly detailed, and I would encourage you to check her out. Links, of course, to all of her cosplay pages in the description down below. Please check her out and send her some love, would you? And there you have it, your Weekend Geek recap on Geeky Bites for Saturday, December 12th, 2014. Thank you so much for watching. My name is, of course, Sean Caspian. Please, of course, remember to like, fave, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I really appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. Remember, we are geek. Until next time, arigato, gozaimasu.